now I tie the spectra cord off to the bottom of the handle control underneath the deck. This is what Hobie used. This is a Hobie Spectra with a swage fitting, which is very good and neat and tidy, but I don't have a swage squasher machine. This is the Spectra line that I'm using, 2mm Spectra. And for demonstration purposes, I'll show you how I tied off the end of the line to the handle. So it should never ever come off. First thing, you see there's a lip here on the end of this screw. There's the same kind of lip underneath your deck at the bottom of your handle. And what you don't want is your knot to be hard up against that lip, perhaps quietly grinding a hole and cutting your cable one day, most embarrassingly. So to stop that, what I did is I put a cable tie, and it makes tying all this together easier as well. I placed a cable tie on here, and I pulled it up a little bit snug. I didn't really lay into it, but I pulled it tight enough so it had a little bit of a grip. And then when you finish doing this knot, it stops, the cable tie stops the knot from pulling tight against this lip on the end of your handle control thingy. That's what I did. I put that there, and now I think it's some kind of a fishing knot I'm using. I don't know what they call it, but what I do is I come from underneath the two cable. I've got it on the left because I'm a left-hander. Doesn't matter what side you start from. But I come underneath and through, so you wind up with a half hitch like that. Okay, and you just doesn't have to be all that tight for the moment. It can be loose. It's fine. Now, once you've got your half hitch, what I did is I now go against the half hitch in the opposite direction 6 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now once you've done that, the last turn is the same thing you did at the bottom. You go around and back through the last turn, so you wind up with a half hitch at the top, like that. Okay, now it's all nice and loose, so that's fine. Now what you do is you feed the tail underneath every one of these loops. So you tuck him underneath, pull, tuck him underneath, tuck him underneath, tuck him underneath, all the way down underneath every one of the turns that you've done. Like so. Okay, and what I did is even on the last turn at the very bottom, I poked the string under there as well. Whether you need to or not, I don't think so, but I did. Right, so now you wind up with that. Now you get a good hold of this end and you quietly start tightening things up. Now this is where the cable tie comes in. As you pull this, it all comes together rather neatly, but it also slides down the main rope and pulls up hard against that knob. If you don't have the cable tie to stop it from hitting hard against that knob. So you just pull it semi-tight, and then I start working the slack out of the turns like this. Okay, and then pull the tail again, pull it tight. Once again, work all the slack back out of the rope, back up the turn like that, go around each one, and around, and around, force it all the way up to the top, and pull the tail again. And again, away we go, around, around, work each turn back up the rope, like so, and pull. Right, and you wind up with that. Tight, snug, never going to slip or let go. The cable tie keeps the knot away from pulling hard against that. Now from here you can just cut that off, melt the end, and you're done. But I don't trust that. What I did is I folded that back along there, got another cable tie, fed it back through there, pulled it up tight and hard. This doesn't have to be tight, this bit just keeps it folded back neatly out of the road. Pull it tight, cut off the tail and melt the end. Done. Easy as that. Now, could you use something else like a bowline? Yeah, you sure could. Okay, let's say you want to use a bowline to do the same thing. Tail on top, tail on top, there's the tail, the short end of the rope. Okay, the rabbit jumps out of the hole, runs around the tree and jumps back down the hole again. Okay, now if you go around the tree one way, you wind up with the tail of the rope on the inside of your loop. And you don't want that. So what you do is you go around the tree the other way, like so. And then when the rabbit jumps back down the hole, the tail is on the outside of the loop. So you're not going to have interference with the loop, your control, and what's happening. Now of course you wouldn't have it this big, you pull this up. I would still put a cable tie there, like that, just to stop this not squashing down tight. But you just pull one part of the tail like that to shorten it up, pull the other part of the tail like that, and if you had a cable tie on there that would stop this pulling up hard against this, which is what you don't want. But there's your bowline. Now how are you going to make sure that doesn't ever come undone when you're not looking underneath your deck? I would do the same cable tie trick like that. That will never let go. Should be fine forever and ever, amen. Now this loop here, you don't want it with the cable tie in there like that. That's just spot on, perfect. It can't fall off off the little knob on the end of it, so it's not going to fall off when the lines are loose. You're not going to cut this part of the knot by slowly doing this while you're using the rudder handles. And with that locked back there with a cable tie, never going to come undone. But I did that. Good, solid, secure knot. All the loadings pretty much, there's the straight pull. You haven't put any twists or kinks in the straight pull, so you're not putting any turn lines with a pull on it. Everything's straight down the line. So there you go, that's what I did. Am I right? I don't know, but that's what I did. Okay.